I hate to break the fishing news up your Chuck, but I'd like to speak about the ice hockey.
Congratulations, you're one of the 13 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
We just traded a migraine in for like an orgasm.
Might want to mark that down,
Yep. All of my projects are on schedule until they're not.
A member of the Nation Network of Podcasts.
About as funny as we're going to get today.
The light goes off.
I immediately went to drug use.
Hey, you like to party?
Welcome into the Real Life Podcast, everybody.
The green button's still on.
Oh, no, the intro's done.
Why is the green button still on?
What intro did you play?
I don't know.
All right, well, our speakers are broken in the studio, so we don't know when the intro ended, so I hope the start of that made sense. Today's episode of the show is brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky. It is Alberta's best-tasting beef jerky. You can find them online, wilhaukbeefjerky.com, or 3 spots in the Edmonton area, the Leduc location, the Spruce Grove location, or at their kiosk in West Edmonton Mall.
Delightful.
You can go to their website, hit the contact button, and then you can send them an email even.
Chalmers, out of 10, how excited are you about the royal wedding?
I'm guessing you're saying Connor and Lauren.
That's right.
There are 2
Or is this a newly engaged Celeste
Well,
and Leon?
we'll walk through them one by one.
I'm not excited at all. I could care less if somebody's getting married this year. I don't care.
One, right?
That's what we
Except
said.
for you, yeah.
That's what we said.
Am I invited to your wedding? Then no, I don't care.
Well, now you're definitely not.
There are 2 royal weddings on the calendar, both of note.
Can I just say that when it's funny where my mind goes sometimes, because the way that you told us that the speakers were blown was you just said somebody had a party in here, and I immediately went, "Why does it smell like weed?" And I went to drug use immediately.
That's the Chalmers I know and love, not this
music.
new one that does perimeter checks of the toilets running before bed. That's the Chalmers I knew.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I don't care at all about the wedding, like at all.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't care. I mean, what do I care?
Hang on, if it was on TV, would you watch it?
No. Other than to see who's there, like a guest list. I just want, if you told me who the guest list was, who the groomsmen and the bridesmaids were, but I think I already know because it's just inundated.
Let me set this up for you, how the day should go. 8 hours on CBC. Mm-hmm. Sportsnet joint venture.
Yep.
Day starts, Jean Principe. Full fanciest attire you've ever seen in your life. Tuxedo, in fact. I want to see a montage of Connor's childhood photos. I want to see a montage of Lauren Kyle's
So you want the average slideshow video that everybody plays at their wedding?
I want 8 hours on
that?
national TV. You've never been to a wedding like that in your life. Then I want to see Mrs. Kyle talking about when she first met Connor.
Oh, God.
And she's like, oh, he was so cute. He came in, he had 3 chin hairs. And then I want to hear Mrs. McDavid talk about the first time that she met LK1. Then I want to see the guests arrive.
I want to undo a metal
hanger.
I might
into a long rod.
How dare you?
Shove it in my own ears to stop me from having to hear any more about this wedding.
Then I want to see Connor and the boys arrive in like a Rolls Royce Corniche, like an old one like Gretzky went to his wedding.
And now I'm going to the eyes. with the rod.
You people, I went to the Little Wayne concert and stayed up until 4:30 in the morning and watched Prince William marry Catherine, and the 2 events together were equally exciting.
Does this wedding help the Edmonton Oilers win a Stanley Cup next year? Yes or no?
No.
Yes. If the answer is no, then I don't want to hear about it until the wedding is over and he's back in training camp.
How 1 second of Connor McDavid's life having to be spent on this wedding is how annoying to him.
Very.
A million times.
Extremely.
10, yeah.
So until this point, I bet you he's spent 13, 14 minutes total of his year worrying about this wedding.
Oh, you mean he doesn't...
Next year, after the wedding, he won't have that burden.
Like normal people... Okay, and this is going to go into our larger topic because I know it's going to stream into something else that we had just talked about. But I follow both Connor, Leon, Lauren.
You do follow
on
LK1?
Instagram? I do, of course. Yeah.
Celeste?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, apparently you don't like beauty. Whatever.
No, I know she's gorgeous, but that's
gorgeous.
Not why I follow. I follow her because I like a glimpse into Connor's life. But the amount
I like
of
to know how often
things
he's in the ice tub.
Exactly. The amount of things that people do to get ready for a wedding is like pick the flowers, pick the DJ, pick the venue, get the liquor, do the what's it called? The guest list.
Yeah.
And then you have a bachelorette party, and then you have a what's the one dinner before it? Rehearsal dinner.
Yep.
That's it.
We're doing an engagement party.
Engagement party. Sorry, we did have an engagement party too.
Yeah, Amber's parents are throwing it
That's
for
a
us.
lot of stuff. These people are having full-on tastings. They are
with the monogram.
It is everything is so produced.
You guys are. Can I just interject for a moment and say that the richest man in Asia's son is getting married right now in India, and his wedding has been 7 fucking months. Rihanna performed.
Bieber.
David Guetta performed. Bieber just performed. $10 million to get Bieber out of bed.
Justin Bieber performed not at his wedding, at the rehearsal dinner.
It's a 7-month wedding.
$10
They had
million.
They had a cruise. They brought a whole cruise ship.
Do you know who's getting really short-changed in this whole thing? The wife. Because everybody keeps saying the India billionaire's son's wedding.
Yeah.
She is also a billionaire. Her family
Pharmaceutical
is
company.
billionaires
How do you
as
know
well.
that? You do
Guys,
follow pageantry.
I follow stupid shit. And this is my problem. So
If
I'm
you
getting
bring David
inundated
Guetta,
with
okay.
Connor's wedding stuff. I don't care, but it's every day.
Yeah.
It's close to now.
Which is coming to my point of that the fact that the Hawk Tuah girl got paid $30,000 to show up at the Calgary Stampede
Yeah.
is I am so sick of her. And then I see another video and it's like, move aside, Hawk Tuah girl. There's a new one in
There's
town.
a new one?
More Hawk
And
Tuah
this
again?
girl
What did
is
she
like
do?
same drunk girl on the street, and the microphone's there, and it's so produced. He's like, well, what would you do? Like, do you Hawk Tuah on it? And she's like, yeah, well, you got it. Spit on it. He's like, well, show me. And he puts his finger out, and she spits on his hand, and then she starts to, and I'm like, okay, so now it's just an arms race of who can
they
be
get hurt at the
more
Stampede?
and
I'd like to see
more,
this.
more and more like vulgar about.
Head.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I know. I would love to say you got to probably beep
say
it.
that.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, but like, it's just like, what are we doing here? So now
You know
it's
what it
like
reminds me
cool.
of?
It's like cool to go viral. I saw a little video because when you scroll Instagram now, the amount of for you, like recommended for you is just off the chain. Like it's probably got to be at least 25% of the posts that I look at.
I basically only go through stories now on Instagram. I don't even scroll through the feed.
So I'm scrolling through the feed. I get a video of this girl
Hawk Tuah girl?
back in her hometown.
Yeah, sitting on a
She's
bench.
from this like little tiny hometown. And of course I watch it because I'm weak. And so I'm watching
That's
it.
why she's at the Stampede
And she's
PS.
like, I just didn't think that one night out on Broadway would change my whole life. Let's just focus on why it did.
Because she's an industry plant?
Because you made a joke about how you
spit on it.
Spit on it. And it's like, what are we doing? Her grandma, and they're like interviewing her grandma and granddad. They're like, well, we just don't really understand what's happening right now. And, it's just, her whole life's a whirlwind right now.
What's crazy though, and why people
What
are
is
getting
going
paranoid
on?
is that, like, think about that lady talking to that kid on the street. You have no expectation of blowing up this big. It's like anybody recording anything and uploading it to the Hive now. Anyone can be
Also,
insanely
this man
My
on the
favorite
street
thing
was
is
this.
that Hawk Tuah girl. She's the one that got famous. Nobody gives a shit about that guy.
That's what I was just going to say to you. Does anybody know who this guy is? He probably does man on the street shit
Industry
all the
plant.
time. And it's like, he didn't get even. So she's on these like she's doing interviews. She did interviews with the Barstool guy or girl, Brianna from BFF
Brianna
Spot or
Chicken
whatever.
Fry.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, she's good.
But the girl that was her friend that was there was also in the interview. It's like, hey, guess what? Nobody cares what you say.
It reminds me of that episode of The Simpsons where it's just say the line, Bart.
Yeah.
Say the line, Bart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when
But get your bag, girl. That's what I like.
You gotta
It's
get
like,
the bag while you can.
If you can come out of this 6-month stretch with 150 grand
dude,
in
it's
your
like the
jeans,
Oilers boobs girl. She played
So
it perfectly.
I'm not hating on her for getting what she's getting.
you just hate society for allowing it to
I
happen.
fucking hate that there's so many people willing to spend money on bringing this person to their event, because what is she doing? She's getting up on the mic. She's gonna be like, okay, and now next up, Luke Coe's Hawk Tuah.
That's what she did at that concert. What was that guy's name?
Zach Bryan.
They had
Zach
to get her out of
Bryan.
the crowd though because
She
she, was so
sounded
famous.
terrible
People were
on the
like
mic,
pawing
too.
at her and shit.
I'm listening to I listen to a lot of podcasts these days. I found another one. It's The Lonely Island with Seth Meyers, right?
So those three guys
so it's like-
and Seth Meyers. have
Yeah,
a
they
forum?
break down all their digital shorts. They basically go in chronological order, and on those digital short shows, they kind of talk about things that they had written and just kind of how this all came. And I just love those guys. They do one whole episode on writing Hot Rod, which is a fucking awesome movie.
love that movie.
Right? It's
It's
cool.
Such a fun movie.
And then I'm listening to like David Spade and Will Arnett on another David Spade podcast with Dana Carvey. And they're just like, nobody these days is clever. It's bullshit what people become famous for. Nobody's funny. The prank videos where you throw a ball in somebody's face and like, that's not funny. You're just like making them feel like shit and making yourself look cool. And it's like, so I guess I think old, get off your lawn guy.
If your algorithm's like decent on like TikTok, you get a lot of good sketches and like there's good creativity out there.
There is a lot of good
guys I follow on there who are
memes.
funny.
Meme creativity has blown my mind for like 6-7 years.
It's a whole form of communication.
There is things that I would never think of, like the one where I just saw today where it's a Corona inflatable bottle and it's holding the door open. It's going like this. And the caption is, when the beers start tasting like you need to hit the bathroom for a bump. And I'm just like, it's just so clever. I mean, like, who would think? Not from experience. I don't know what the fuck that means. It's very funny. But the memes are so
There are some people
clever.
though that are like, you ever see Drewski? You ever see that guy?
Yeah.
He's so funny, and he just started off his phone, just talking shit.
Go ahead.
Oh, just like the stuff that they do with the sleepover parties at Kai Sinat's house and stuff.
Okay, do you like Kai Sinat?
Not particularly, but the
I think he's
sleepovers
funny.
are funny. Drewski though is funny.
Did he
Like,
actually light his house on fire
No,
with
it was a
firecrackers?
set. It was a set with Mr. Beast in the Mr. Beast Emporium.
Oh,
They
okay.
faked the room, but the fact that we're talking about it, it worked.
Yeah.
But Drewski, though, to me, that his sense of humor, where he would go do man on the street shit with people, and he's just so fucking unhinged, you would never have a show of his be that funny because they'd have to take all the funny shit out.
Yeah.
There are some people on the internet who are hilarious.
It's just, it takes a different human being, I think, to be put in a position where you're in basically a glass house and you're like, who's the Twitch guy? Sketch or something?
Sketch.
Oh, he's having a week.
He had a tough week, and
No, I think he handled it well.
no, he did. No, I'm
crushed
not, he did.
He has me quoting him around my house right now.
What quote?
I did not have sexual relations with that man. Just kidding. Yes, I did.
It's so
funny.
wild,
You should
man.
say that in public. It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Feel free to clip that.
It's just, what a time. What a time.
Okay, do you remember the D's nuts got him guy?
Yeah. That
Welvin?
Yeah, well.
So on my 18th birthday, he was at the ranch, and me and my friends were going to the ranch for my 18th birthday, and it was like, the line wasn't that long. It was like, oh, we should go get a picture with him. So me, my girlfriend at the time, my buddy, his girlfriend, we go up there, and me and my buddy stand next to him, and he goes, nah, I only stand next to the women. And he made us stand on the outside.
Yes,
Power. The girls had to stand
As the
close
kids
to
would
him.
say, that's a Sigma move.
Sigma move.
Sigma move.
Got that Riz.
When I walked in this room,
Oh, and
you
he
three.
wouldn't say the line. We're like, will you say it? He was like, no.
Oh, who doesn't do their famous thing?
some
That's
jerk.
like Hawk Tuah girl saying, I'm not going to say Hawk Tuah at
30G you are,
the
girl.
Stampede.
Yeah.
It
course
is
you are.
insane. Like the first time I saw that video, I'm like, that's hilarious. And I like looking at her. And then the next day I was like, this is the worst thing ever.
I did not like it immediately. And it just was like, no, like I liked it. I thought it was funny
Yeah.
because
The accent, the whole thing's funny.
the whole thing was funny the first time, but man, the internet can ruin shit
And then,
just by
like once it's the least funny people you know who now like are making it their personality of making those jokes. It's like, yeah, no.
and like older people who are trying to be funny by doing like a parody of it.
Yeah,
It's
all that shit's
not
whack.
funny at all.
There's the line of like how popular something gets and how funny it still
But
is.
get your
and it's
bag.
like-
Like
Yeah.
the Oiler boob gal.
Yeah.
She did the Playboy shoot before the cup was awarded.
Yeah.
Like, that's perfect. Her life now is returning to normal. I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah.
Get that bag. The fact that Welvin can come to the ranch and get 10G, respect the game. The fact he got ripped off by his manager and they stole everything and his Instagram account.
The one thing that's super interesting about it that I would like to see, and I would definitely watch a documentary on this, is the moment she wakes up in the morning and realizes that Hawk Tuah has gone super viral. How you have to be willing now to become the person that's going to take advantage of this, right? I felt like Oiler Boob Girl was kind of like, oh, buddy, I don't like this. I don't like this. I'm pushing back. I'm not like going to get myself out there. But like, what does Hawk Tuah Girl just all of a sudden start getting like DMs and phone calls from managers, and
Yes.
she's now going to start taking meetings, and
Yes.
like, it's just, I would love to see that whirlwind.
I think
That would
exactly
be
what you
interesting.
described.
That's interesting.
People are reaching out like, hey, we see your buzz, girl. We should have a call and think about how to put a plan in place to make some bread off this. And
So
like,
that's how you could make some serious long-term bread off that is you film the rise of that. Like Netflix should have a crew on
how fast would they have to come to her house after she blew up to make that
the
work?
next morning.
Yeah,
The next fucking day.
the best piece of content I would want is a podcast with her 12 months from now, once it's like dead and she's not getting booked and stuff
Look
anymore.
at Bad Barbie, though, man. You
Yeah.
never know, right? Like,
She was Cash Me Outside girl,
Yeah,
right?
Cash Me Outside.
and she's still like, she put out an album. She
Yeah,
had a little
but
yacht.
I
dude,
still maintain
dude,
Gucci
she-
flip flops is a fucking
Dude,
legit.
have it
Catch
on
Me
my phone?
Outside was a long time ago, and she was nowhere for a long time. And then she came and made, and it was an OnlyFans. So like,
she was
No,
popular.
before
so
that,
is
she
Hawk
had
Tuah
the, like,
girl
she had
gonna
a-
be in like a year? Be like, I'm not getting any more, but I'm gonna take my clothes off. Like,
No,
is that
she
where
was-
it's
she was
always gonna
famous
end?
Before the OnlyFans, she stayed relevant, kind of that
Bad
whole
Barbie.
time. Yeah,
Bad
yeah.
Barbie did?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
She got an Instagram audience.
Not
She's
in my
put out-
algorithm. She didn't.
Well,
If you were like, I'm up to date with all Bad Barbie's posts, we'd probably have to take you to prison, Playboy.
Yeah, I don't want to be. I hate that girl. I don't hate her. I just don't want to see her.
you're
ever.
fired up today about
Frank
basically
Sinatra won a
anything.
soap.
Pretty much anything. Yeah.
Frank Sinatra won a singing contest sponsored by Soap as a teenager, and that's all he needed to get into it. Some folks have staying power.
Do you guys know? Speaking of Frank Sinatra,
Yeah.
do you know how the beer cart was invented?
Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, okay, you do know. Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra refused to play golf without
Booze?
booze.
A fully stocked car.
A fully stocked cart. So they basically just had somebody drive behind them with a fully stocked cart of any drink they would ever want. And then this cart started to like go and serve other people on the golf course while they would drive by. Ipso facto, that's how we got the beer cart.
Really?
Yeah.
It started, I mean, I know that would have been like 80 years ago or whatever.
Oh, come on.
Less
in
than
Vegas.
that, no.
Yeah, they're playing
Yeah,
on the strip.
But
they
it's
wanted-
like, it's that recent of a revelation.
Oh, yeah.
No kidding.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool, actually. I didn't know that. That's a good piece of sitting around the campfire. and talk to get
That's
people
what you
going.
can pull out when you're
Yeah.
roasting a mallow.
All right. Wow, we got some length out of that discussion. That is surprising. The only part of the Leon Draisaitl Celeste Desjardins or engagement thing I care about is the fact that he liked a comment of someone he knows who said that extension's coming in at a good time to pay for that ring, and I was like, there it is.
Well, what's his name? His agent said very confident. Yeah.
Okay, so let's just hope that Gretzky and Janet got married, and Janet was like, "Hey, I kind of like Edmonton. I'll get married here, but guess what? Like, we're gonna leave in 2 years."
I think
And then
the
they went to
wedding-
LA.
I think the wedding, sorry to interrupt you, but the wedding was their gift to Edmonton as the closing chapter of him being here. I think it's like, we know we're
I
gonna
think I would
leave
really
How
like.
quick after was it?
that same summer.
It was that same summer. He got married and dipped.
Has Celeste and Lauren both? Have they ever come out and said how much
1
they
year.
like this city?
Lauren's got a building with her name on it.
What about Celeste? She's not from here. She's not even from
Lauren's not from here
Canada,
either.
is she?
No, she is. Her and Lauren went to high school together.
Her and Lauren
Oh,
were
I
friends.
thought she was from like New York or something.
But that right there, like if Lauren's going to stay, there's no reason for Celeste to leave.
But Celeste and Leon already have a house in Spain. Like, they're already international citizens. It's not like Leon's like,
No,
you have to go to
I-
Bonnie Doon Mall every summer. Like, they're part of
What
a
you do?
larger-
Bonnie Doon Lanes, great time.
Good A&W in Bonnie Doon.
It's true, but if you're not born into these type of winters, they can fucking wear on you. I'm born into it, and they wear on me these days.
Yeah, but they bounce around so much.
I know.
Like, it's-
You know what? I'm not going to look too much into it. I'm happy for them. Super happy that they're doing this at the same time.
said happy
and
in a weird
that's a
way.
real connection. No, I wasn't being sarcastic or anything. I am happy for them.
That's how you said happy then.
No, I didn't say it anyway.
Say it in a normal way where you're actually happy.
I'm super happy.
No, listen how you said it there.
I said it for normal. I'm glad that they're getting married at the same time because maybe
They're not getting married
this
at the
is
same
well the
time.
same. Well,
They're not going to
married, engaged. It's the whole connection. It's like we're gonna stay. Let's do this together. We're brothers. Peepee touch.
Keep in touch.
Peepee touch.
Oh,
Keep in touch.
I can't say that.
Tyler said he didn't want to have to do
say
any
that.
post editing.
that one's fine, I guess.
Sorry.
Don't talk about docking though.
Space docking.
Stop that. See, now we're getting to a
We're
weird
getting
point.
to a line.
International Space Station.
There's a line. How's everyone handling the heat?
I had to go buy a new air conditioner.
I've had so many Slurpees. Oh, dudes, funny air conditioning stuff. Like, so my neighbors just had a brand new baby.
We go to get the Slurpees at the same place. Are you dealing with their straws?
See, I'm not as committed to them. This isn't like a one-way relation. Like, I go other places. I moonlight on them, right? But I haven't been to that one in a while. Do you know what? The Husky just down the street. Wow.
Really?
The Shell right across the street. Wow.
Okay.
When
They
you say
are
wow,
better.
what do you see in your
The
straw technology?
consistency, the consistent flavors. The other one's always got some sort of new hibiscus bullshit. I don't know what it is. Have you tried the Kool-Aid cherry?
No, I don't want that.
Oh my God, I'll make your lips pucker. It is
I don't
so
want that.
sweet. So that's just it. I want orange crush. I want grape crush. I want lime
give me the
crush.
classics.
Dr. Pepper and a Coke.
Yep,
That's
give
all
me
I
the
need.
classics.
And
That's
a
all I
root
need.
beer. Chuck in a root beer every so often. That's Husky. That's Shell. They
If
are
you're going to get
purists.
me a Slurpee and you say, what flavor do you want? I'll just say anything brown.
Yep. That's a good point.
Because it'll be, you know what? I know what I'm getting. Don't give me a fucking Crystal Light. Nobody wants that shit.
So you had to get a new air conditioner?
Yeah, I just bought like a portable one because
Right.
my house was like 30 degrees inside.
But how'd you find one?
Man, you just got to hustle.
They're flying off the shelves. But here's
No, you know, the legit, it was Jeff Bezos brought it to my house.
good. Oh yeah, smart. This is like the worst time for a air conditioner to break down. And I have friends who was at their house yesterday, and I was like, "What is going on in your house? It's like 28 degrees in here." And they're like, and I knew they just got a new air conditioner like last year, and they'd been back to service it 3 times, and it keeps malfunctioning and it's not working. And
That's why I'm just not doing it.
they opened the thing up, and the person that installed it forgot to take out the owner's manual, and it was inside the unit next to the coils that freeze. So this thing's wet. Of course, it's just going to turn into a block of ice, and then when you have a little block of ice in there, it's going to turn into an even bigger block of ice. There was water all over the place. All the thermal couples and blah, blah, blahs are broken now, and like they had to order it apart. It wasn't here for 2 days. In the 3 days where we broke records.
Yep.
What kind of luck is that?
When we turned on the furnace
great.
here, Chalmers, the person who like put it all together and turned it on, left the manual inside it.
Oh my God.
Caught fire. Fire department had to
Come on.
I'm serious.
Do you ever build a building that doesn't catch on fire?
Yep. How dare you? Sometimes.
Dude, did we tell you about our Blue Chicago fire story?
I didn't light the roof on fire.
No, I did.
You did.
Well, I didn't. My guy, my trade did.
They were smoking in those days. That was the good old days when you could smoke at work.
So
it ignited the
yeah, it
vapor.
was so weird. Like they had just finished spraying oil on the ceiling, like oil-based paint.
Okay.
And like the furnace kicked in, which it shouldn't have been on, and a spark from it
I
lit.
thought it was from them smoking on the...
No, and it went up the wall, and then a flash fire all the way across the
They
roof.
moved that quick.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I went to Home Deeps to get some shit, start coming back. I'm like, hey, look at all those fire trucks that passed me. Hey, look, it kind of looks like
Why
they're
are
at the
they
bar.
coming with me?
Something near the bar must be on fire. No, it was our shit on
It
fire.
was the bar.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, air conditioners. Good time to have them.
I don't know. I know every summer people are like, oh, why don't you just get it? Like, especially because like we have no plans of leaving our house anytime soon. So like, do it, right? Like, just bite the bullet, spend the money. But
It's for like 2 weeks a year.
I know, and also like our basement stays real cold. So like Amber and I have just started sleeping in the basement now, and it's like we get through it.
Yeah, yeah, but see, like that's
with you.
I had to get it because I mean, our kids upstairs. We don't have bedrooms in the basement. We have like an office. We have an exercise room, and then a big rumpus room, and it's like we can't sleep down there. Yeah. And the upper floor, if we set the air conditioning like 23. And when it's 23 on the main floor, it's like 25 or 26 upstairs. And so like nobody's sleeping in that. So we had to. You know what I mean? But if it's like one of those bungalows like you live in, the basements do stay really cold in there. But
Yeah, my basement is like slightly cooler, but not at all comfortable.
yeah.
I tried to sleep downstairs.
Oh, I slept in the basement of Wanye Manor last night. Perfect.
I wish I had a deeper basement.
Nice and dark.
Yeah, because I guess yours doesn't actually go down.
It's not, it's like a half.
Yeah.
But if you have a full week like this, is there not some point in it where like day 5 rolls around and you're just like, I just need to go sit in my car or like in a restaurant?
Come here.
Or
Sit
come
here.
here just to be in air conditioning?
So when I ordered my air conditioner off Amazon, it was supposed to get there yesterday, which it did. And it was supposed to arrive by 10 p.m., but thankfully it came in at like 11 a.m. So I was okay yesterday. But my plan was, because my house was so fucking hot, I was going to grab my dog and just come hang out here
Yeah.
and just work here for the day.
Last night it was like, Amber and I were like, well, let's not eat at home because it's hot as shit. Like, let's just go sit at a restaurant for an hour and a half and whatever. And better late than never if you're looking to add an off-season podcast to your repertoire and you haven't listened.
It's a fine program.
It is. Late spelled Lait. Yesterday, BM did the old. Would you rather have you're asking the people plus 30 or minus 30?
I like that question.
It was way more split than I thought it would be.
No,
dumb.
It's so easy.
Well, what is it?
Plus 30 or minus 30?
Yeah.
Plus
you got
30.
a week of it.
People are always like, but you can
Plus
take
30.
more the layers thing, right? You can only take
Well, can I go in an air-conditioned building?
No, of course.
Yeah,
you're just
you
living
do
your
whatever the
life.
fuck you
Because, I mean, at minus 30, you can go in a heated house.
Can I go sit in the shade and have a
In
ice
plus
cold beer?
30, I can go out and do shit. In minus 30, I cannot.
Well, that was so like I read everybody's answers and I was surprised how split it was because for me it's easy. Plus 30, you can, like you said, go outside, do whatever. Last night, took my dog for a walk at 11 o'clock. It was nice. Sat outside, had a beer. Wonderful.
Sounds great. Walk through the ravine and it's all shaded and it's beautiful.
Yeah. Not close.
I love when I walked outside of the house this morning at like 6:30 and it was just like 20 degrees out. And it was like, this is absolutely
Because you
amazing.
spend a lot of time in Phoenix and shit too, though. So you're.
I do,
kind
but
of
I also
accustomed-
work outside a lot. Like I've been outside today of the 8 hours I've been outside of my house, I've been outside for probably 5.5, 6 of them. So I'm outside a lot. Like that's why though I also need air conditioning because I need that escape. Like by about 5 o'clock at night, I just want to get in the house and I just want to like feel the cold air and have a shower and relax. No?
I'm with
That's
you.
why I had
Yeah.
to go buy one of those portable units because like there was no reprieve.
I'm never going to bitch about this heat, though. I fucking love
No,
it. This is
I
the
take this
best.
any day.
It is a little tough to go golfing. I was going to take my kids golfing last night, and we were going to go tonight. I just think even with a cart, like
I went on Monday. And
tonight
it was
might be
not
okay.
Fun.
Tonight might be okay. Last night was 35 still at like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that's
it was hot.
dude. That's
I
crazy.
sat in my dog's pool the other day. It's nice.
It's
The ones, little
fantastic.
plastic ones.
That's the thing is like in plus 30, you can go out in your backyard and you can like take a kiddie's pool or like like a bouncy castle and put what do they call? Jesus, sprinkler in it.
Yeah.
And it's glorious. It's fantastic.
You're not playing
Minus
wiffle ball
30.
outside when it's minus 30.
No, you're not. You're playing Where's My Balls?
But I was very surprised how split down the middle it was. So if I got 50 answers, it was probably close to 50-50.
That's wild to me.
Crazy. I thought it would have been like at least 90-10, to be honest.
Yeah, I would yeah.
All right, we do have to step aside for a quick break, so we'll be right back.
Can I bring up something?
What's that?
It's a pep. You know what? I'll turn it into a Keep It 100 segment.
Ooh, well, give me a second here, Chalmers. As you get ready for a Keep It 100, I need to tell the people that Keep It 100 today is brought to you by the Oilers Nation Open, which is coming back September 1. September 1. No, August 30th.
August 30th.
August 30th.
If you show up
is
on
the day.
September 1, you will not be at the tournament.
You will not be at the tournament. But
Book a tea time, though.
exactly, at the Millwoods Golf Course, private club conditions for under $100, relaxed driving range with music playing, lots of targets, plenty of reasons to make your next tee time at the Millwoods Golf Course. Check them out online, millwoodsgolfcourse.ca.
It's very evident that in today's world with camera phones and people are constantly taking pictures and
Getting the damn camera phone.
What's he building
taking
towards?
selfies and taking pictures and everybody wants a picture with somebody. There's one thing when doing that is starting to drive me nuts, and I'm going to keep it 100 by saying if you
ahead.
do this, you are a loser and you should stop. George LaRocque right now is training Matt Rempe and another player
Yeah.
to fight. He took a picture with both of them. And he did I'm pointing at the guy I'm with in the picture.
Okay.
You hate that?
I cannot stand the I'm pointing at the guy I'm taking a picture with. Almost like, look at this guy. Right? It's like look at this guy. Or it's like, and George LaRocque, in some respects, is more famous than them. So is it like a pandering, like, oh, I'm the famous guy, but look at who's here. It's so annoying. If you take a picture with me and you point to me like this, and you point at, I'm just like, what are you doing? What is that? What does that even mean? It looks so stupid for one thing. Anybody agree? Does
Are
anybody?
you coming to the golf tournament?
Yeah.
If you take a picture with Chalmers, make sure you are pointing at him.
Yeah.
Look
All
at
of
this.
them.
Look who I found.
Look who's here. Look
Look
who's
who's here.
Can you believe it?
Can you believe I'm with Matt Rempe?
Now, I will say this, though. Matt Rempe's uppercuts in that drill with George Laraque. If you're in the NHL and you're watching that, you're like, maybe I'll healthy scratch myself against the Rangers this year. Like, holy fuck.
If we clip this, let's just put a couple pictures up of people who have pointed. Maybe the one with George Laraque where he's pointing at both of them.
You feel confident calling out George Laraque on socials about this?
It's not just him. This is just the one that set me off because it's okay to do it once, but he does it to both players. In pictures, two pictures next to each other. Him with Matt Rempe and him with the other guy. No,
Is he doing the Spider-Man?
They're two pictures.
The Spider-Man
They're two
meme.
separate pictures. They're two separate pictures, and he does it with both of them. Look at this guy. Oh my God! Look over here. Here's this guy.
Tai-Tai's got it up.
Yeah,
Why? No, that's not the one. Yeah, that one. Why are you pointing at him? Why are you pointing at him? Why are they both pointing at each other?
I like how George, again, love
Just
George.
show Wanye. Why are you pointing at each other?
Because we're happy to see each other.
Oh my God.
Also, George is wearing an Oilers jersey in it, which I love, but it's not like one of his jerseys. It's one of the new Mitchell and Ness retro ones they dropped.
I like that he's repping the oil when he's fighting Matt Rempe.
I know, but like,
I don't
you
know.
have one of your
Stop
old
pointing at each other in pictures.
Why are you buying
I've never
a vintage
once
jersey
thought of
of
this.
yourself?
You've never once thought of this?
No, doesn't
You
bother me
you
at all.
won't be able to look at a picture anywhere where somebody points at somebody else and not be like, okay, the pointer's kind of an idiot.
The one that annoys me that people do, and a lot of pseudo celebrities do this, is they'll do this face, like, and they'll like, especially on like thumbnails on YouTube and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Bag Milk? Like
Yeah.
feigning surprise photo.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's because they're all trying
I
to copy Mr. Beast's kind of
I hate
model.
that shit. I hate it. Hey, what about Mr. Beast saying he'll run for president if they change the
300 million subscribers on YouTube.
Okay, wait. Also, there's a minimum age you have to be president,
Yeah.
but no maximum.
No,
I
Feels
say
like
we.
a little weird.
it should have a maximum.
You know what? Make them older. I say.
I just Googled people pointing at each other in pictures, and there's a website that says 1,683 pictures of people pointing at each other's in photos.
You can save that for later, Charles.
Look at how
eh?
nerdy those two look.
Stock images, yeah.
Stock images.
All right.
So I walked in this room today, and obviously it's hot, so we're all on our feet exposed. And you three were sitting in a row, and all three of you have slides on. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't help but take the chance to ask, you guys 12 years old?
Yeah, okay, this is
It's a young man's game, the slides.
That's bullshit. Me and
this is
Zuckerberg
way-
been wearing these since the time
Slides are a young man's game. This is something you guys are going to realize really
also,
quickly.
I am young.
This is like a 13 to 15-year-old.
That
This
just
is like
means
a
13
10
year old.
a 10 to 17-year-old
No.
game.
I disagree.
And they wear them with
completely.
socks.
That's whack.
You guys
That's
look
a
like
young man's
boomers.
game.
I'm gonna
You
say-
guys got to get
I do have
thongs,
flip-flops.
flip-flops.
I don't like
I
the
wore
feeling of
flip-flops
the
yesterday.
thing between my toes, Chalmers. I really don't like that feeling.
I like to
hate
switch it up.
socks.
Because you're
I
like a
hate
little
shit in my
kid.
toes.
Let's like your kids these days.
These
They
are more secure.
Can't take anything a little uncomfortable.
I bought
true.
slides for when we were traveling in the playoffs because they're way more comfortable to wear on a plane than shoes.
If you did a Twitter poll of this, like, hey, 25 plus year olds, do you go slides or the thong one? What would it be?
I have both. I like both.
I have both too. But
80-20 thongs.
and then if you put a third option that is I don't care, it would be 90% I don't
Or
care
shoot.
because this is
You can
dumb as
run in
shit.
these things. I
Okay,
can't run in
maybe
thongs.
it's just because my children are 10 and 13 and all their friends all
That's
just
more
wear
like it.
slides and socks.
And you used to wear a Kangol, bro.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson wore a Kangol. Samuel Jackson, LL Cool J, Chris Chalmers. That's who was wearing Kangols back then.
When I go to my slow pitch game tonight and I will walk the 15 minutes to the diamond, I will wear these with my socks. That's normal.
When we
Yeah,
were
no.
flying to Florida, I was wearing slides of socks.
Young kids are going to look at you and be like, look at that old boomer thinks he's cool.
Can I say something about something related to this, Chalmers?
What?
When did Snoop Dogg become the new Morgan Freeman? This motherfucker
Why
is
is he?
endorsing everything. He's everywhere. Have you seen the new ads with him and Martha Stewart and Willie Nelson selling Bic lighters?
Oh, but he's been doing Bic lighters for a bit now.
But like the newest ones,
I've
there was
seen
the other
the
one that
newest
would look
ones.
like they were on Zooms and they were talking to each other. But like now there's ones like, man, Snoop is just at the height of his game of monetizing. He is endorsing more shit now than ever.
Do you think part of it is just like he's bored, so like these projects just keep popping up? He's like, yeah, I'll go do it.
I think he just keeps getting
I
better
think he
and
has
better
tough, I
management.
think he probably just
His agent
sucks to say no to a easy paycheck.
that too. It's like, hey, go shoot this
100%.
commercial for
And
Bic.
he's so cool. Like, he's never not going to be cool. There's guys that
like Morgan
can-
Freeman.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
He can do as many Charles Barkley. These guys can do as many ads as they want
Yes.
and they'll never not be cool.
Yes.
And if you if you do too many ads, there's people that are just like, okay, this guy's doing another ad. Like, who's somebody that did a ton of ads and you were like, this guy's not cool because of how many ads are doing?
Bill Cosby.
No, God.
No.
I can't even think of anybody right now.
Yeah, I can't either. I don't know. I just think I guess I don't think about that.
What was the question?
Think of a celebrity that's done so many ads that after a while you were just like, you're not
Pitbull.
cool anymore. The product's not cool anymore.
Pitbull was doing
Sold out.
stuff.
Who sold out?
Pitbull with Kodak, Mr. Worldwide. That drove me nuts.
Because I think that Snoop Dogg could be in every commercial on TV and he'd still be cool.
I've never in my
'Cause
life
he's just
seen
cool.
a rapper endorsing as much stuff as old
Okay,
Snoop.
It's also
so
funny to
talk
think
about
like,
movies, like,
how
I-
younger people, they don't know that Snoop was once charged with murder too, which is always fun.
I think Kevin Hart is somebody who's done a lot of movies, and he was doing so many that it was like not cool, and he wasn't that cool anymore.
I also have a theory
He kind of
though that-
became a little bit of a joke at times.
Like
All
The Rock.
comedians,
The Rock
Chalmers?
does The Rock in
The-
every single
the-
movie is The Rock.
And The Rock, he's lost his cool factor a lot.
But comedians
recently.
do. Even Will Ferrell had his run and stop. You can't be a comedian and have more than like 6 or 7 movies. I swear to God. The moment moves on.
Yeah, because it's kind of like your style of humor is what
Jim
draws
Carrey,
people
as
in.
big as you could
Yeah.
be. 7 movies.
There's some very big comedians that are in town as of tomorrow
Yeah.
for this comedy festival. The
Shockingly
Great Outdoor Comedy
which
Festival.
one
This
are
is
you
not
most
a plug.
excited to see?
So Shane Gillis and Andrew Schultz are Friday.
Without
I'm
a
going to
doubt,
that one.
That's
It's
so
by
good.
far going to be my favorite day. I'm also going Saturday. Kevin Hart's there. He's headlining by himself with a host. Sunday, I didn't get tickets to just
That's
because
Bert Kreischer? Is that one?
That's Burt Kreischer, Whitney Cummings. My son's got a golf tournament that night, and there's just like it's Sunday night. I got to get to work. I don't
My
want to drink 3 nights in a row.
algorithm fed me too much Burt Kreischer for a while.
Yeah, Bert Kreischer, I'm done
He's
with.
getting there.
good.
He's getting there.
When they put the movie of The Machine out, I was like, I get it, but I don't
bag.
want it.
Shane Gillis and Andrew Schultz are going to be great.
But
I'm
like
disappointed I'm not going.
so like Burt Kreischer hit his absolute peak when he did 2 things. When he flew those 2 Barstool guys, when he said to them, I want you to block off 48 hours and just be ready, have a bag packed. And I'm gonna have a car pick you up. It's gonna take you to the airport. You're not gonna know where you're going. And he flew them to Amsterdam where they met him. They went out for 2 straight days and then he flew them home. And it was just like, but the morning of that was Winston Churchill Day. And so Winston Churchill notoriously woke up every morning, had like in bed, he would get a plate of bacon and eggs. He would sit in his 3-piece suit. He would read the newspaper. He would have like a shot of bourbon and he would smoke a cigar every single morning.
It's a glass of whiskey. He would have
Or a glass of
half
whiskey,
half
yes.
water
I got it here if you want it.
every day.
Yeah. Tell me about Winston Churchill Day.
Winston Churchill wakes up 7 a.m., remain in bed, eat breakfast, read the newspaper, work, glass of whiskey and a soda.
Yeah.
11 a.m., out of bed, stroll around the garden, supervising the estate, another whiskey and soda. 1 p.m., multi-course lunch, imperial pint of champagne.
Imperial pint.
That's a super big glass.
Yeah, it's a big one. 3:30 p.m., work from study, glass of cognac. 5 p.m., hour and a half nap, siesta, a habit acquired during his time in Cuba. 6:30 p.m., wake up, bathe, dress for dinner. 8 p.m., lengthy dinner with guest, imperial pint of champagne. Midnight, work and study, cognac. 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., bedtime. Repeat.
Yeah, so
2 hours sleep a night?
So Burt Kreischer,
No,
either
you
on
go
the
to bed
day
at some point between
on the
1
day that Winston Churchill was born or the day that he died, he does Winston Churchill Day, and that just happened to be the day that he was like the day before he was meeting these guys. When he did those 2 things, that was like the height of cool for him. And ever since then, it's just been like I feel like I'm force fed him.
I love Bert.
You do. Yeah, you
I
went and saw him
love
live.
Bert. But seeing him live,
Yeah, it'd be different.
I don't know about how it would be like out at the park thing, but like if you go to a Bert Kreischer stand-up show, it is fucking chaos in there. It is like a concert in there. People are going bananas. There was a girl flashing the
You
entire
saw a
audience.
show like this?
Yeah, the last time I saw him was
Where'd you
at
see him
the
Citadel.
Jubilee.
Oh, Julie. Yeah.
So like a pretty intimate experience, right? Like not the outdoor. I feel like you might get lost a little bit.
It was so well. I just don't know that it'll have like the pure chaos that was in there because like people
Well,
are screaming.
The
and
outdoor
he's-
venue that this is at is the same one that I saw like Ashanti and Ja Rule and
Ashanti.
Fat Mace? You see the big
and
big
Mace.
Mace when he showed up?
Yeah. And it was great. I think it's going to be a great show.
And I also love Bert's podcast that he does with Tom Segura. 2 Bears, 1 Cave.
It's really good. It's really
Fantastic
good.
podcast.
Tom Segura is so funny.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's my favorite comedian because he's just so rude.
He's the best.
Knowing what we know now about Bad Boy for Life and all, maybe Mace was right to leave.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe he isn't crazy. Maybe Mace was right to go be
He
a
was like,
preacher.
I'm going to distance myself. I need to find God.
I think that's
Whoa,
smart.
I think that's what happened, man. I honestly do.
I could go for an imperial pint right now.
What would you drink?
What is an
Chambord?
imperial pint? Like
It's a bigger size, like a it's like a.
Well, 16
Pony
ounces is
jug.
a normal size, right?
20
When you're
is supposed
prime
to be
minister of
normal.
Britain, they got a special one.
20 is a normal pound. 20
Traditionally,
ounces
a
is a
pint is
pint.
20 ounces. But nowadays, it's been skewed to being 16, I think.
There's a bunch of people on YouTube that try to do Winston Churchill Day, like what you're talking about.
an imperial pint is 20% larger than a standard 20-ounce pint.
And he would also run 20 cigars a day. So I've seen several people who like put
Churchill?
on 3-piece suits. Yeah.
20 cigars in a day.
A day. Yeah, big time.
mama.
A British pint is 20 ounces, an American pint is 16.
And an imperial pint's 22.
Yeah, it was yeah.
So these guys try to do this, Chalmers.
In
They try
Canada,
to
it's
keep
supposed
up,
to be 20. Sorry, that's all. That's from the government website.
and they're always just turbo fucked up by noon.
So, speaking of doing things, have you heard of guys trying to do the John Daly? Play a round of golf and do what John Daly does in a round of golf?
Which is like 40 cigarettes.
21 cigarettes, 12 Diet Cokes, and 6 packs of peanuts M&Ms
21 cigarettes is
with
the most unnamed
0
part of it.
ounces of water.
Oh, you'd be dead.
It's the cigarettes for me. Like,
Your body can draw moisture from an M&M.
how long is 18 holes?
4 hours.
If you're walking it.
4 hours. 18 holes is 4 hours.
Supposed to be.
He's lugging 21 rats. In
When was the last time you golfed?
In a PGA Tour event? You think
Oh,
4
no,
hours?
no. This is the John Daly. He goes and does so in this one, if it was a tournaments are usually like 5 to 6 hours.
There we go.
But a normal round of golf, if somebody tried to do it,
You'd be hitting,
They'd be
you'd
doing
be
that in
lighting a
4
dart
hours.
off every tee and on most approaches.
For sure.
every tee for sure. And on 2 holes, you'd have to have a second one. Or 3 holes, you'd have to have a second
Par
one.
fives.
Yeah, the 3 par fives, you'd have to have 2.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You
That
light
is
one on the
a
tee, you
lot
light
of-
another
That is
one
a
on the green.
lot of darts. And that's a lot of Diet Cokes.
Golf darts don't count, I guess.
Well, you would feel so disgusting the
my
next
God.
day. Oh,
Especially if you come in with like the shakes because you've been drunk all night and you're like,
And what was the other thing? How many Diet Cokes?
12. And 6 packs of peanut M&Ms.
so it'd be like first tee, dart, rip it, tee off, crack
Crush
a
a Diet Coke.
crush
Chug it.
like slam it, finish the hole, peanut M&Ms down, dart.
sir, you've forgotten your green dart and
How do
you
you-
also
yeah.
have to have a second Diet Coke
How do
on
you
that
find
one.
time to hit your ball?
Yeah, like that's insane.
You're constantly doing
Like
something.
you got a tough putt, you're like perfect. I can lung a rat quickly.
7 M&Ms fall out of your mouth.
That's so good. Fuck.
So gross.
So I think that of all of them, man, I couldn't do 12 Diet Cokes either. Peanut M&Ms, I'll crush
I couldn't
it. I'll
drink
murder
12
them.
Diet Cokes in a day. I don't
No,
think.
I couldn't. Yeah,
Like that.
like,
that's a
I'm the
feat in
fucking
itself.
Laura Cola
As
guy.
somebody who enjoys a cigarette when I'm drinking, man, 21 cigarettes is
Two or
so
three
many.
is where you kind of draw the line
It's so many.
over a night.
This is the difference, though, between like why our generation's living longer than they used to, right? Is that like this is the case.
And no wars.
Winston Churchill had a special oxygen mask made that overruled RAF safety so he could smoke on planes. And they weren't pressurized. You had to wear a gas mask. So think about the fire hazard of oxygen mask plus a hole in it so you could smoke a cigar. And he's like, I'm the prime minister.
I do what I want.
I do what I want.
All right, before we wrap up the show, I know we still got a little bit of time, but there's something.
How many? One thing, Tyler.
Okay.
How many joints does Snoop Dogg's entourage go through in a day?
Now, this is Entourage or Snoop included?
so
Does it say Snoop and
Because his
Entourage?
entourage could be 100 people.
this okay. So it says Snoop's outrageous joints per day.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. How many do you think?
28.
I'm going to go lower. I'm going to go like 10 to 12.
According to what Snoop Dogg told Billboard in November of 2022, at 51 years old, he still smokes upwards of 75 to 150 joints per day.
Him and his crew.
No, him.
Oh,
That's-
there's no way.
They've got to be tiny.
Man, I saw one time an Instagram photo of Snoop saying just wrote a new song and he'd lined up all his roaches from his recording session. See if you can find that photo, man. There's probably 20, and these weren't like little pinners either. These were like goddamn blunts.
That seems like a bit much.
You know, we used to roll sprockets.
What's that?
It's like tiny little, like like 1/4 joints just for yourself, and they'd be small. You just because you didn't want to like smoke a whole thing or like smoke a joint and like put it out every quarter of it. So you would just roll like a quarter-sized one.
Sprocket.
We called it a sprocket. It was a rocket. Where did the sprock come from? I don't remember.
That's the weed talking.
Yeah.
I can't find the picture.
Oh, it's crazy, man. I believe it.
All right. There is something I wanted to talk to you guys about. It's for our friends at Bet365. Open an account today with Bet365. Use the promo code OILYBONUS to get in on a huge range of markets. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We had like a top 3, I'd say, biggest soccer match in our country's history. The other day.
Oh, yeah. England versus Netherlands.
Canada, Argentina.
Oh, what?
Copa Americas. Okay, well, that answers my question.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
The reason I wanted to bring it
That's the
up,
sprocket talking.
Yeah.
the reason I wanted to bring it up is because like I have a Canada kit. I was like,
Yes.
I've only ever worn this once. I should probably get more use out of it. So I wore it as I was running errands, and I had multiple people be like, hey, big match tonight. Like, let's go. So I was impressed by like the general public seemed to be buying into like a Copa Americas match. And even like I went to ball that night and like people were talking about it.
No, my family was super into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm super into the fact that the Americans, when they were hiring their coach, were like floating the idea and everybody was telling them that they should hire this guy Marsh.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't. They stuck with that dude that they had. And people were like, we need to fire this guy. We need to hire this guy. And then Canada hired him, and just the difference that it's made. Yeah. I really don't know that many players. So we have somebody that we know that lives in England, and LA? No.
Pele?
No, in England.
Soccer.
And we were talking to them about the English Euros, like how the England team is doing the Euros. And they said, well, hey, we heard that Canada's doing great in the Copa America. We heard that you guys have maybe the best midfielder in the game, or whatever position Alfonso plays. So like, he is internationally
And
known.
he's an Edmonton boy.
And he's an Edmonton boy who came up through the
Play for
system.
Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
And so it's quite impressive. I mean, it's cool. Like, that's the first they've ever gotten Copa America, is it not?
Yeah. I think it's cool just to see when everyone buys in. I also get a great chuckle out of all the hockey fans on my Twitter timeline who are very clearly, like me, I guess, but like, you know, watching a soccer match for the second time in 5 years and are just like blown away at so many things. Like, oh, and it's like a whole like the diving, and it's like, oh my God, are you not sick of like always having that conversation when it's soccer? Yes, I don't know when every day I did hockey
But
debates that I'd love to kill and topics I'd never love talking about
But
again.
when you watch soccer, and like I watched the whole Swiss England game and the Slovakia England game.
Yep.
And because the Netherlands one was on yesterday during work, I was following it. I had it on my phone and I was watching it, but I wasn't watching the screen. But like, I really, really get into it. Like, I really see the plays develop. Yeah, it's slow, but it's exciting. But the single solitary reason I will never fully be invested in soccer is simply for that embellishment.
But it's like a weird strategic part of the game. It's like how you have to get
Like
calls.
the guy,
But
the
it's-
Canadian guy that got the yellow
but
card
it's
when he didn't
embarrassing.
even touch the guy.
But it's that's a super embarrassing part of your game.
Yeah, it is.
Like, so name a super embarrassing part of. There's probably people out there that think fighting in the NHL is an embarrassing look for them, which I don't agree with. Obviously, I love fighting, but in like NFL football, what's a super embarrassing? The field, the point after. I mean, it's not super embarrassing. It's kind of
off-season every
unnecessary. But like in baseball, hitting a guy after your pitcher hit a guy, like that's kind of one of those like, well, it's an unwritten rule type of thing, but it's not embarrassing. It's not as embarrassing as legitimately faking that you're hurt in such a manner that you are so over the top just for the play to then turn around and you look over and be like, oh man, I could score a goal here if I just get up and then to get up and get in the play like nothing ever happened. That's like when my kids do that, they're embarrassed at home.
the one that I will say was embarrassing was when the Canadian guy tapped the ball onto the guy's back and he like grabbed his back and was like, huh. But the rest of it, I don't know.
Did you see the one where when the guy gets up and he starts and he's like just embellished and he starts to like run away and the ref kind of taps him on the back and he doesn't see that it's the ref and he goes like, oh, like he's been shot from behind and the ref looks at him like, are you fucking serious right now? Like, I'm sorry.
I do think
that's embarrassing.
I like that Argentina chirped Drake after they won.
I do too. That was funny. Drake needs to just lay low, bud. But I don't think he didn't post that he put a $300,000 wager on it.
Does anyone actually believe though?
he
these
posted
places
it on
He
are
actually
wagers?
posted that because I only saw it from like
I don't believe
secondary accounts.
I don't think he
They're all
actually
fake.
posts his. I don't think he bets his real money. But
I don't think he
did
bets
post it
his
on
real money.
story.
I think it's just like, okay, I told you guys about this guy that I like him, just Vegas Mike.
Yeah, the gambling guy.
The guy that just goes around to slot machines and he plays like anywhere it's upwards.
Vegas Matt.
Vegas Matt.
Yeah.
Upwards of
Loses
$2,000 a thing.
Yeah.
This guy's a genius because here I am immediately being like, man, this guy must be super rich to be able to put like $30,000 in a slot machine and play $2,000 a spin.
Yeah.
The games that he's playing are for sure paying him to do it.
Yeah.
Because if you're ever sitting in a slot and you're like, I saw Vegas Matt win a ton of money on this one, I want to give it a try. Man, those Buffaloes and those bonuses are super exciting. It was genius. This guy is probably gambling and he's getting paid to gamble.
Yeah.
Legit.
It's called being staked. They'll pay you to do it.
That's the job I want. If I could have my dream job, it's to be paid to play slot machines and gamble. I would
You gotta
do
go
that
put
in a
200 in a
second.
VL, hit it for 1,000, and go mega viral. Then they'll pay you.
If the game I played on the VLT paid me $30,000 to do a video of playing the game, and I put 20,000 in, and I just spun it until I was out or until I won something, that is literally my definition of.
You don't think Uncle Glenn would pay you to do it?
Chalmers, next time you sit down the
doesn't.
VLs, live stream yourself playing. See how
Yeah, right.
Why not?
I don't know because
See how many people
I
get in on it?
shouldn't be playing ever VLT, so I probably would never make that video.
If you live stream it 10 times and go to Play Alberta and get them to pay you to play once a month on Fridays on paydays, it's not that far to think, man. Casino influencers are real things.
It's incredible. Though I can get behind that. Not so much the Hawk Tuah girl. If we want
She's
to
having her
tie a
moment,
bow to put a bow
Let
on this,
her have
on this
her moment.
podcast.
Let her have her
There's
moment.
certain influencers I can get behind, and that's the gambling degenerates. But
Dear
it's
Hawk
not.
Tuah girl, cash in while you can.
Get
No,
your money,
absolutely.
girl. Buy a condo in Boca Raton.
Just don't be upset if every time I push the 3 little buttons at the top of the post and say not interested.
Do you do that?
Oh hell
Do
yeah!
you rate your algorithm a
The
bit?
thing that
Hell
I do
yeah.
on
Got to.
Instagram all the time is I get rid of, I mute all suggested posts for 30 days. It lets you do that.
Oh, really?
Game changer on the algorithm.
It's just you look at one video. Like I watched one video of like an alligator getting a deer, and next thing I knew, my whole goddamn feed was wildlife.
I watched a Chinese.
Nature is metal, and I'm like, what the hell is
I
happening?
follow Nature is Metal.
Of course you do.
I watched a Chinese
You
kid
love that
eat
shit.
noodles the other day. And I don't know, the algorithm, I'm like, interesting. Now it's like, you'll see nothing but Chinese children eating noodles till the end of time, Wanye. Like, damn, Zuck, give a guy a break. Let me see the
watched
hockey
one
Too busy
video.
looking cool on Independence Day.
We noticed that you paused briefly.
Oh,
to
I
watch
accidentally looked at a hot girl, and then I accidentally went to my search page in front of my wife, and the whole goddamn thing was hot chicks. And I'm like, I promise, this isn't it. It's embarrassing.
Wink.
Wink. I'm just kidding.
You rascal.
Let's go to our search pages right now.
Oh, I just did, and I was
Did
like,
you?
yeah, that's about on brand.
Your search page? What you seeing on there?
Hockey, female, hockey, female, hockey, hockey, female, Draisaitl, hockey, 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 hockey.
Wow, mine is
hockey,
way
Bennett.
more construction stuff. Golf, construction, hockey. There's one hawk girl, unfortunately. No, not unfortunately. No. You know what's a lot of golf and a lot of construction.
Let me look at mine. Matthew McConaughey, Matthew McConaughey fan page, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, this
Got stung by a
guy
bee.
opening up a briefcase full of money on a yacht and it flies everywhere.
That's not Matthew McConaughey.
No,
That's
it's that one guy. There's like this one guy who's the happy guy or something. Do you know who he is?
Yo, you are chronically online.
Yeah, no.
A guy who, this is why Chalmers hates himself.
You want to do screen time?
Okay. I'm in.
This is a great way to end the pod.
Screen time.
You're not
or
gonna.
as I call it,
Wanye's
Matthew McConaughey.
not gonna do it.
My phone's outside.
So my daily average,
Holy Christ!
my daily average is 318.
Holy smokearinis!
Are you
My
higher or
daily
lower?
average. What? I'll let you guess. But
I'll say 440.
How do I find it?
516.
Oh,
Go to
BM, I
settings.
bet you BM might beat you though, because you're always.
Where?
Like
How do I do it again?
No.
Just go and search screen time in your phone, and it'll pop up in settings.
Screen time.
So my biggest one is my most used. I think this is a weekly average. I average 359 a week on Twitter, 242 on TikTok, 237 on Instagram.
He didn't have it on.
Oh,
He didn't have his screen time on.
He wasn't monitoring it.
No.
This one is really telling right now. An hour 35 on Words with Friends.
and you don't even play that old lady no more?
Nah, I just play the computer now.
To be honest,
So what's your leading app?
so I'll go to yesterday. Oh, see, yesterday's a bad one because I did have my Shaw Ignite TV playing the soccer game for an hour and a half.
Okay, so just go back a different day.
So
I
go
had
to the
one
day before that.
Sunday, I had 40 minutes
So
on
text
tele.
messaging, 45 minutes. Email, 42 minutes.
Oh.
Instagram, 35 minutes. Safari, 33 minutes. Google, 27 minutes.
Didn't you? I guess a lot
Calculator, 26 minutes. And Signal, 22 minutes.
of that. A lot of that's work related.
My
Actually.
average
Tons,
is
because I have to do
3
invoicing and I
hours
just
and
use
3
this for
minutes.
my...
Oh, 3 that's not bad. I think mine is also hurt, Charles. Like you were just rattling off your email and stuff. I only do emails on my laptop.
Oh, this calculates my maps. I was on Maps for an hour and 9 minutes.
I'm looking at mine, Chalmers. I average 9 hours a day on the Chipotle app. Is that a problem?
I can never.
I'm just
decide.
super interested in the Chipotle app.
My most used app is Instagram and TikTok are pretty close together.
And where's Chipotle app falling in on that?
Third.
My text messages is constantly number one.
Really?
Yep.
What are you just always texting people?
I text with trades and I text with tons of people. Yeah. And that's why, like, if I don't respond to a text, it could be 3 full scrolls, like, in a day.
No kidding.
I know. It's insane.
If I have one unread text message, it drives me nuts.
Oh, man. You would not want to live with the Wanye phones for very long. You'd have a breakdown.
Yours are wild, Wanye. I remember one time I went to a hockey game with Wanye and I looked over and he had like 80 unread messages or something. I'm like, what is this?
Because the problem for me is they stack up and then I answer everybody and then everybody replies. Right? Yeah. So then I just get to the point where I'm like, I give up in general. And I let like 80 conversations lapse.
It's JR that has the emails, though.
Yeah.
His is bad.
I would throw the phone in the wood chipper. Couldn't take that. 1,200 emails unread.
The most annoying part of the day, and I'm very happy for the life I have, but it's the communication. It's too much. And then you add DMs.
Yeah.
And you add in multiple accounts, and you got 3 emails. I have 3 phones. The reason why this shit ain't connected to it's because it's not connected to anything.
Yeah.
When I leave the house with this phone now, I leave my other 2 phones at home.
Ignorance is bliss, my
So I
friend.
live my life, playboy.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
We'll be back on Monday, right? Everyone's good Monday?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I'm off for the next 3 pods. So Pat Puff's going to be coming.
We ever thought about going to once a week in the summertime?
We have, but why?
I don't know. Today, because
the nice thing about this podcast is that
let's
not
look behind the curtain
sports-
here. On Monday, we didn't have a lot to talk about. We crushed a lot of hockey stuff.
But that's when this show's funny, is when we're not
But
talking about
today
anything.
was good. Like today was just, I loved today.
That's why this one doesn't necessarily have to drop down, in my opinion, because it doesn't rely on
I
sports.
agree.
necessarily.
2's better than 1.
Plus, Big Brother starts on Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Let's go.
There's a lot of the Olympics. I know
Olympics,
that
we're
people
gonna
are
get
going
a
to come
lot
here
of
for the
mileage out of the
Olympics
Olympics.
highlight or coverage, but like, man, do I love the Olympics? Love it. I think the Olympics, summer and winter, are 2 of my favorite times of the year.
The theme this year for Big Brother 2024 is AI.
Oh God,
the Allen AI off.
Hawk Tuah.
The play AI offs. They're taking it from the Dallas Stars.
AI. What's the cast looking like?
Big Brother
No, it
Canada
won't
got
be out
canceled,
yet.
eh?
I know.
No.
They won't release a cast
No.
Yeah.
yet. No, and don't even. Why would you
Did you hear
spoil
that,
it? I
Tyler?
want to see it day of. Don't
You
show
wanna
it
get live?
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll
we'll
do it live.
Tyler, did you hear that?
Yeah, Big Brother. That was like 2-3 weeks ago.
Really?
I know they're like
Brother
somewhat. They put out again because it got canceled.
Add more plugs.
It got canceled like 4 years ago.
Yeah, and then they brought in more plugs.
Yeah, and then they did like a plea to the public, and it brought in some more money. And they did that again, kind of. They're like, we'd love to do it again.
My favorite part about Big Brother Canada is that every single thing is sponsored no matter what, and it makes me laugh.
How can it go to business? I don't understand. They're just
Yeah,
making
that's weird.
decisions. It isn't that it's not making money.
Like you're in the kitchen, you're in the shark vacuum
Yeah.
kitchen.
Because nobody,
the best.
because nobody on here. So any of the listeners, I want to talk about this because I want to talk about this stuff with somebody. But because nobody in here, does anybody watch The Acolyte? It's the
fuck
Star
is that?
Wars show on Disney Plus. It's a new Star Wars show. It's awesome.
I'm too busy with the
Or
Hawk
House
Tuah
of
girl.
Dragons.
Yeah, I'm watching all the Hawk Tuah appearances.
Yeah,
House of Dragons,
people
the bear.
pretending to be her.
I'm
Okay.
logging them
Yeah.
You guys.
for my website, hawktuahnation.com.
If you're out there
Don't tell
and you
Jay.
like Star Wars, watch The Acolyte. It's great. If you like Game of Thrones, watch House of Dragons because last episode was fire. And if you
know what I-
like The Bear,
The radio
the new
station?
season, no.
A couple things that I recommend watching if you're into sports documentaries. One, I've got the receiver one queued up that I'm excited about.
Netflix just dropped it yesterday. Hey,
But the sprinter one,
no,
I
what's
didn't
this?
think it was. It's just about like high end
vans?
sprinters. I wish it was about
No
sprinter
shit.
vans.
Sprinter vans?
Like
That's
the
a good
people that
show.
run the 100, 200 meters. Oh, fascinating.
DeGrasse.
Do you know what?
No, he's not. Oh, he wasn't in the first episode. I just watched the first episode.
Cool.
I'm gonna watch both of those. Do you know what my son asked me to watch yesterday?
Tour de France one is also
My son
great.
said, "Can you find this documentary for me?" I'm like, "Which one?" He goes, "It's the one about the San Francisco Giants when the earthquake happened." And I'm like, "The night the series stopped, like 30 for 30." I'm like, "Where did you even?" Oh yeah, absolutely. So I teed it up for him. Glued, loved it.
Sports
Yeah, it
documentaries
was
are the
cool.
best.
Sports documentaries.
30 for 30s are great. to
This
throw on
receiver is
for.
going to be amazing.
It's going to be awesome. And then, like when we were on the plane to Florida to and from, I crushed out the Tour de France. What an insane sport that is.
You know what's funny back in the Tour de France? Did you ever see the clip on Insta where they used to be allowed to stop at roadside cafes and take anything they wanted for free? So they have footage of these guys getting off their bikes in like the 50s and booking it into a cafe and running out with like a bottle of red wine. And then they get back on their bike and they're drinking. And then the cafes along the route would send the bill to the organizer of the Tour de France. So they were allowed to like take stuff off desks, no water. They would get beer, champagne, and red wine and keep riding.
I love
That's
it.
when men were men. We would win wars.
Yep.
All right.
The Tour de France lost me when a participant in it this year was fined for stopping on the road to give his wife a kiss.
That lost it for you?
Yep.
Listen, they ride 180 kilometers a day. You stop, kiss your wife for all I care.
Yeah, they fined him.
They got fined?
Yep, cyclist was fined for pausing during the Tour de France to kiss his
How
wife.
much you get fined?
My favorite was the Tour de France was a
Oh,
couple
no, I wanna
years
see
ago
the
when that
video
girl
of it.
popped out to take a selfie in front of all the cameras.
bitch.
He got, like caused a mass chaos. The best.
That was wild.
But it is wild though. They ride their bikes through these like narrow
Yeah.
tunnels of people screaming in their faces. It is wild shit.
I love people getting hit by shit, though. That's a good laugh.
It is good stuff.
That's a good laugh.
Anyway, it was a good sports documentary.
200 Swiss francs, the equivalent of $223.
Would you kiss your wife for $223 fine,
Oh, I
Chalmers?
kissed her for free today.
Flex.
Braggart.
Kissed her for free.
All right.
There you have it. Sports documentaries.
Highest-
Always good.
Highest paid cyclist in the world is salaries $9.6 million. So if there's a fun fact to end today on,
Fucking right.
enjoy your weekend, everybody. Stay cool, and we'll be back on Monday.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.